Welcome to Primal Armor, a podcast centered on helping each and every listener strive for a healthier tomorrow. I'm your host, Jeff Kimple, and I'll be covering every aspect within the field of health, helping you build that strong foundation for improving your physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and more. It's time to take your personal wellness into your own hands, and Primal Armor is going to help you reach those goals. I just want to thank you for taking the time today to tune in and listen to today's topic. Enjoy. Before we get started into the episode, I just want to take a few seconds to thank today's sponsor, Anchor Podcasts. They allow me to create and edit these podcasts for you guys. They're also the ones who distribute this podcast to other platforms such as Spotify and the Apple Podcast app on your phone, so you guys can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's everything needed all in one app. I encourage you all to get started today. Go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and follow the podcast. I cannot believe that we're already 20 weeks and 20 episodes into this podcast. This was just a crazy shot in the dark when I started all of this, and it's grown beyond belief. We're now 20 episodes deep. We're scattered across 10 different countries over 5 different continents. It's given me the opportunity to reach thousands upon thousands of people over roughly the past half a year. And it's all thanks to your support that all of this is possible. It's a crazy world we live in these days that's affected a lot of people. So I'm just glad that the podcast is still going strong throughout all of the chaos. With that being said though, the coronavirus really has thrown everyone for a loop. And we still don't know too much about it yet. But you hop on the internet these days, and everyone seems to have their own input and opinion on the situation. You have people thinking that this is just a government-made disease released upon the population, used to control us in any way they want, trying to take away our constitutional rights and track our every move. Or you have the people who are deathly afraid of this disease, thinking it's going to drastically affect them and their loved ones, to the point where they refuse to have any interactions with others. They believe this disease is the deadliest thing that mankind has ever seen. You have some people who are in the middle, but it just seems like the majority of people are watching the news and either disregarding everything they say, wanting to open the floodgates and return to normal life, or you have the people listening to every single thing that the politicians, World Health Organization, and the CDC have to say. So which one's right? It's really hard to say at this point, because we don't have any long-term research into what this virus really is and what it really does. But working for the healthcare industry and the small business industry, I'm going to give you my input and opinion on the topic. I want to use the example of gyms and fitness centers, but these can also be related to other businesses such as barbers, salons, and other non-essential things. The population I target mostly is people who are interested in some sort of health and fitness, whether that's someone just starting out or frequent gym goers. These are the people that I have the most interaction with. I've been seeing more and more people post about how gyms need to open, that our health is essential, and that mandating closures is not helping us one bit. First off, I want to reference how biased I am on exercise as a tool for our overall health. I even did a whole episode talking about how you can affect your immune system in positive ways with exercise, as it being one of the most important factors. So, you would think that I'm all for gym and fitness centers opening so people can focus on bettering themselves and bettering their health, right? Absolutely not. And now let me tell you why. This virus is just something we don't know very much about yet. Whether it's something man-made or just a very contagious sickness that just popped up out of nowhere, we don't know its long-lasting effects. It may not hit us as hard as New York City or Chicago, or as bad as any other big city around the world, but it doesn't hurt to try to contain it the best we can. Businesses such as healthcare, agriculture, and distribution are essential. These are needed to keep people alive, to feed us, and to keep the economic infrastructure of our country. Something as minimal as a gym is not impactful enough just to sway our economic status as a country, so it's not a dire need of opening up for that fact. And then, as for the argument of our health being essential and that gyms need to open back up due to that fact is also a load of crap. I am all for exercise being one of the most important tools for your health. But if someone is using the excuse that the gym isn't open as the fact that they can't exercise, that says something more about their dedication than anything. If you need a gym to be able to exercise, then you've got it all wrong. Does a gym give you better options and more viable options in many situations? Of course. Most people don't have equipment of their own to work with, but that should not stop you from getting exercise in your daily life. You do not need a gym. If you're someone who hasn't just really worked out before all this started, anything you do right now is going to be benefiting you. If you're someone who is just a frequent gym goer, then getting outside the gym for a handful of months is not the end of the world. It's honestly probably going to be a good thing for you to switch things up for a bit. The body gets used to doing the same things over and over and over, and tries to learn how to become more efficient in doing them. So doing the same workout routines in the gym can really have you be wasting your time versus the time you're actually spending in there doing the same routine over and over. Now, we're being forced to do other things, which is a good thing. We don't need a gym to be open right now, and if you think you do, sorry, but you're wrong. I've been in countless amounts of gyms over the years, and when was the last time you really seen anyone disinfect the equipment between each use? I'm not just talking about someone going and wiping off their own sweat. I'm talking about someone coughing and sneezing into their own hand, grabbing a barbell or a dumbbell, and then not disinfecting everything they just touched. Then you grab onto that, and then you spread that to yourself and everything else that you touch after that too. Let alone, when was the last time you ever saw treadmills or any exercise equipment properly being spaced apart to follow today's guidelines? And let alone ever tried to work out in a mask. None of this is feasible at the moment, and these can all just be eliminated by keeping gyms closed for the time being. If you're still looking for ways to work out during these times, I did a podcast a few weeks ago specifically about exercises you could be doing at home, with or without equipment, and they teach you multiple ways to switch things up to keep the endless variety of workouts. I don't know about where you're at, but our state parks just opened up here again in Illinois, so that just gives another viable option for physical activity. With the weather warming up too, it gives you the option to go out on walks, runs, bike rides, or even getting out in the water to swim, kayak, canoe. There are just endless possibilities out there that you can throw together right now. The risk versus reward right now with opening up gyms is just not worth it. There's plenty of other things that you could be doing, and the gym will still be there once all this is over. While exercise and our health is essential, the gym is not essential, no matter how much you want to convince yourself that it is. I'm hoping that this is over just as soon as you do. But I'm just hoping that you're finding ways to stay active out there during this time. If you guys need any advice on why or how, go back and check out episode 15 and episode 16. It talks about why you need to use exercise to improve your health and your immune system, as well as examples of what you could be doing during this time. If you need any help or any advice or any tips at all, please feel free to reach out to me. This is what I'm here for and what I love to do, so please reach out. Again, I just want to thank you guys for all the support that got us here to 20 episodes deep. It's your support that keeps me going. Have a great week, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys on next week's podcast.